morning. Welcome to Thinking is Contagious. Thursday, the 15th of October. So many things to talk about here. I want to start with one positive. Watched a lot of video of Coney Barrett, and I just want to say that what an impressive human being. She exudes confidence, poise, intellect, credibility, morality, and ethics. And what really points it out to me, it's that you watch the politicians that are questioning her, and you get this feeling of a lack of integrity. You get this feeling of here are people who are so have so many warts, have so many things to hide, are so compromised, and live their lives with in these compromised situations that they assume automatically that everyone is like them. And everyone has these same compromised situations, and everyone is touting an agenda, and everyone is looking out for themselves and at all cost. And I think it comes across that way. And then when you see someone like Coney Barrett, you realize that the people that are questioning her, the questions that they're asking, of which in fact bring into question her integrity, her ability to be fair, her ability to be honest. The reason that they're asking these questions is because they know that they're not fair. They know that they're not honest. They know that they have no integrity, and they assume that everyone else is the same. Coney Barrett is a special human being. Trump, tremendous pick. And she will be on the Supreme Court for many decades. Wish her good health. And the country's in good hands with her and the majority of our other judges. So that's a big positive. I really need to talk about this New York Post article. First of all, Facebook and Twitter, humiliating, embarrassing the way that they've silenced and refused to allow this story to be shared on their platform. You know, it's a long way, Facebook and Twitter, from the blackboard. Oh, we're a blackboard and you can put up whatever you want on it. It's a long way to where you are today, where you have frozen the account of Kayleigh McEnany, the president's press secretary. It is a long way, Twitter, when you have frozen the account of the New York Post, where they can't comment on their own story. It's funny, I said yesterday, I called the FCC regarding a comment made by George Floyd's sister regarding vote for Biden, basically. And I was told that's freedom of speech. That's allowed. It's freedom of speech. Well, where's the freedom of speech here, FCC? That you allow Facebook and Twitter to silence anything that goes against their preferred presidential candidate, Joe Biden. But let's get back to this New York Post story. Let's get back to this thing. I just heard Rudy Giuliani. Evidently, this hard drive has been in the possession of the FBI for almost a year now. Why has nothing happened as of this point? And I could argue that because the FBI has looked at it and said that there's nothing there. But why hasn't there been a statement to that effect, that there's nothing there? Why now that it's being put out there to the public? Giuliani's been on Trump last night speaking, and all we get from the Biden camp is we looked at his schedule and he never met with Burisma. Well, Giuliani's claiming that it's far beyond Burisma. He's claiming it's China and the Ukraine. He's claiming tens of millions of dollars to Biden, Hunter Biden. He's claiming that Hunter Biden had to kick back this money to his father. He claims that there are emails where Hunter Biden complains to his sister that he's had to support the Biden family for the last 30 years. Okay, so there are emails showing that business dealings with partnerships between the Chinese nationals and Hunter Biden, James Biden, Joe Biden. He's claiming that anywhere from $20 to $40 million have been made by the Bidens as a result of these Ukraine and China deals. Why is this not being, if this is false, if these are false allegations, how come we're not seeing a stronger response from the Biden camp? Giuliani's claiming that there's evidence on there that Hunter Biden is still a crack addict. That there's compromising information on there in which China can hold the Biden family hostage. There's information on these emails showing collusion, underworld connections with Chinese nationals, Ukrainian nationals that have been convicted of crimes that are serving time at this point as partners of the Bidens. This is who, if this proves factual, this is who the Democrats have on their ticket, which begs me to ask the question, and this is the ultimate conspiracy theory, but does this really play into the Trojan horse, Kamala Harris as the praying mantis? Does this really play into the plan of eliminating Biden? Knowing these things are there, and we've already discussed how for the liberals, collateral damage is totally acceptable as long as it's not they who are the collateral damage. So are they prepared to sacrifice the Bidens in hopes they get elected? And once Joe Biden gets elected, Kamala and the left can come in and say they're horrified of what they found out and push for him to be removed. Could that be it? I can tell you this. This doesn't look good. This doesn't look good for the Democrats at this point. And I think there's a lot of questions that are being asked. And I do know this. The censorship that is surrounding this story leads me to believe that where there's smoke, there's fire. Eventually, the mainstream media is going to have to address this. They cannot continue to ignore it. And eventually, the Biden camp is going to have to come out and either file defamation suits or go to court to stop this if it's not true, or they're going to have to explain themselves. But I can tell you this, where we're at today, Joe Biden, you're in a hot seat. And we talked about this maybe a month ago. I told you that there was something big coming down the pike and that there was going to be a bombshell. And I think that we're seeing this bombshell now begin to explode. Is it a dud or is it real? I don't have enough information at this point. But I will tell you that I need answers, like the American people need answers. And they have to be a lot clearer and a lot more concise and a lot more firm than we checked Joe Biden's schedule and there's no appointments that we can see with Burisma. There's no appointments showing on his schedule that would Who would put appointments on their schedule for undertakings with criminals? Who would put that on their schedule? There's plenty of gaps in politicians' schedules for hours and hours of being able to conduct business and have meetings however they want. It sure as hell isn't going to be on his schedule. I met with Burisma. I met with the wife of the former mayor of Moscow. Excuse me. I met with the wife of the former mayor of Moscow. No, that's not going to be on his schedule, people. You got a lot of answers to provide, and it looks pretty bad right now. Joe, you're taking on water, buddy. And everything that the Democrats have accused Trump on, from obstruction, which is Hillary, is the epitome of obstruction, just destroying her email server, bleaching it, 33,000 emails under subpoena. That's obstruction. And corruption with Russia, and collusion with Russia and the Ukraine and China. It looks like that's Joe Biden and the Biden family. And I think Hunter's got a little axe to grind with his old man. And I think there's a lot of explaining to be done. Anyway, interesting. This thing's going to blow up in their faces. And I can tell you this. Kamala Harris is chomping at the bit with this one. All right, guys. Have a good day. Keep following the story, what they'll let you follow. FCC, hopefully freedom of speech applies to everything. And by the way, as soon as the market opens today, I'm selling my Facebook stock. Not that I think it's not a company with a lot of upside, but I refuse to invest in censorship. Thanks, and have a good day.